Celebrity authors have come to dominate books in the last decade, but one writer is proving a famous name isn't always essential in captivating an audience. Katherine Rundell won this year's Waterstones Book of the Year with her novel Impossible Creatures.
The rise of the celebrity author has come to dominate children's literature in the last decade, a genre all too often sidelined within literary circles. Until now. Step forward one of the most talked about authors of 2023, Katherine Rundell, who seems to have come up with a compelling new fantasy novel that's seen her likened to literary titans like JRR Tolkien, Pullman and C.S. Lewis.
Narnia it's in my bones and skin and fingernails. You know, when you read a children's book, sometimes it can be like a kind of defibrillator for the imagination.
An Oxford Fellow, her grounding in academia is apparent. Her latest work packed full of the mythical creatures she's researched over the years to tell the story of a race to save that which is beautiful, an underlying nod to our own environment.
I think I wanted to say to the children reading it, your bravery, your endurance, your courage, your action will be wonderfully worth the time and pain and effort it takes.
Her own childhood, by all accounts, a magical-sounding affair, growing up, as she says, surrounded by wild monkeys and snakes in Zimbabwe.
I was allowed to play outside and be without adult supervision. And I think in England that is harder. And perhaps that makes children grow up a little swifter, that they have less space in which to be a child.
As for the modern propensity of celebrities writing children's books, Rundell questions the wisdom.
Our current ecosystem does mean that there's often in some places limited choice and the same names over and over. And I think what we need is to find ways to get variety and scope into children's hands.
Expect Impossible Creatures to rank alongside some of the most memorable children's series, with a sequel already in the works and a third on the cards.
You can't please every kid, but just occasionally I have kids who come up to me and say, I've read it. And I know it's not real. Obviously it's not real. But is it real?
Already being hailed a modern classic, as Rundell says, at its best, children's fiction gives young people a blueprint for what it might be to be happy. Katie Spencer, Sky News.